U.S. President Donald Trump has arrived in Florida to meet victims of the mass shooting that killed 17 lives at a high school in Parkland. A 19-year-old former student, Nicholas Cruz, has confessed to gunning down 17 people at the high school north of Miami on Wednesday in the country's worst school massacre since the horror at Sandy Hook 6 years ago. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said it mishandled a January tip that the 19-year-old accused of killing 17 people in Florida had guns and the potential to carry out a school shooting. A person close to the accused gunman, Nicholas Cruz, called an FBI tip line on January 5th to report concerns about him. In a fresh trouble for U.S. President, former Playboy model Karen McDougal has spoken about her alleged affair with Donald Trump, describing complex legal and financial agreements in an alleged bid to cover it up. McDougal has detailed her alleged affair with Trump for 9 months between 2006 and 2007, when Trump was 2 years into his marriage with Melania Trump. A U.S. grand jury probing alleged Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election has indicted 13 Russian nationals. U.S. Deputy Attorney General Ron Rosenstein said a Russian internet agency had more than a dozen Russians interfered in the U.S. election campaign from 2014 through 2016 to support then businessman Donald Trump and disparage his rival Hillary Clinton.
A grand jury in the District of Columbia today returned an indictment presented by the Special Counsel's Office. The indictment charges 13 Russian nationals and 3 Russian companies for committing federal crimes while seeking to interfere in the United States political system, including the 2016 presidential election. The defendants allegedly conducted what they called information warfare against the United States, with the stated goal of spreading distrust towards the candidates and the political system in general.
Dangers of nuclear proliferation and a global security situation dominated the opening session of the high-profile Munich Security Conference in Germany. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis and Turkish Prime Minister Binali Yildirim were among attendees on Friday. German-Turkish journalist Deniz Yücel was on his way home to Germany. Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel, hours after his release from a Turkish prison where he had spent 1 year without judicial proceedings. Gabriel was speaking on the sidelines of the annual Munich Security Conference with his Turkish counterpart Mevlut Cavusoglu, whom he thanked repeatedly. Hundreds of Israeli residents staged a protest in Tel Aviv, demanding resignation of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over bribery allegations. The protests come after police recommended that Netanyahu be charged with bribery in 2 corruption cases. The newly elected South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has said that his country faces tough decisions to boost economic growth after years of stagnation. In a State of the Nation address a day after his inauguration, Ramaphosa promised to transform the mining sector, fight corruption and speed up the redistribution of land to black citizens.
Build a society defined by decency and integrity that does not tolerate the plunder of public resources nor the theft by corporate criminals of the hard-earned savings of ordinary people. Improved and keep on improving. Many of our firms, many of our mines are seeing orders, increased orders coming in. The stock market has risen. The rand has strengthened. and there are early indications that investor confidence is on the rise.
French President Emmanuel Macron said that France needed to reach out to more countries in the Asia-Pacific region at a reception celebrating the Lunar New Year. Macron said France had for too long concentrated its relations in the region on the three giants, China, India and Japan, and called for stronger relations with other countries such as Indonesia, Australia and Singapore. New Yorkers ushered in the Year of the Dog with a loud noise of firecrackers. In Chinese tradition, fireworks are believed to scare off evil spirits from the year to come and bring good fortune. The predicted rainfall held off and hundreds enjoyed the unusually warm weather in February to witness the annual event in New York's Chinatown. A powerful storm left a path of destruction in western Pennsylvania. Houses were leveled and trees torn from their roots in Fayette County by strong winds. Heavy rains triggered flooding and landslides. The storm left more than 1,000 homes and businesses without power. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said that a Brexit deal should strike a balance that ensures Britain clearly diverges from the European Union's single market while also keeping close economic ties with the bloc. During a news conference with British Prime Minister Theresa May, Merkel added that she was not frustrated with the negotiations and that she wanted the EU to stick to the Brexit timetable. Suspected drug traffickers were apprehended by the Mexican Navy after a chase through the high Pacific seas of Acapulco on Thursday. A Mexican Navy airplane spotted a suspicious boat some 310 kilometers off the coast and alerted a naval team that intercepted the craft and arrested 7 people and confiscated bundles of suspected cocaine. The United States ambassador to Peru presided over a ceremony in Lima in which the U.S. donated $30 million worth of equipment to Peru to help them combat drugs. The donation included communications equipment, including radios, vehicles, and night vision. Over the past 5 years, the U.S. has donated a total of $36 million to Peru in its fight against drugs. UN's World Food Programme said that food aid is urgently needed for people living in Deir al-Zor, eastern Syria's largest city, after its first aid convoy in more than 3 years arrived in the city. The UN had been prevented from running 8 convoys due to the occupation of Deir al-Zor city and Governorate by Islamic State in the mid-2014 and the subsequent military operation by the Syrian government and its allies to retake it. The leader of Lebanon's Hezbollah group, Hassan Nasrallah, said that the Lebanese state needed to take a firm and strong position on disputes with Israel and said the group was ready to act if necessary. US diplomats have been mediating between the two countries after a surge in tensions over a border wall which Israel is building and Lebanon's decision to explore for offshore energy near disputed waters. On the third and final day of his India visit today, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. India and Iran likely to finalize details about operationalization of the strategically important Chabahar port, east trade and investments between the two countries. Indian companies will soon be able to invest in Iran using Indian currency. The decision is likely to not only strengthen India's role in shaping the geopolitical environment in the Indian Ocean region, but also safeguard its business interest in West and Central Asia, with China leaving no stone unturned in stressing its might in the Indian Ocean region. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will begin his 7-day India visit from today. Trudeau is expected to arrive in New Delhi later today. Trudeau's visit is aimed at intensifying defense and counter-terror cooperation, besides expanding trade and investment ties. The National Security Advisors of India and Canada in Delhi ahead of the visit aimed at intensifying defense and counter-terror cooperation, besides expanding trade and investment ties. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India is committed to protecting the environment and is doing everything required for it, but expects others to also fulfill their commitments. PM said nations took a stand to come together at the 2015 COP21 summit in Paris and work towards the common cause of sustaining the planet. Speaking at the World Sustainable Development Summit in the national capital, he said, and I quote, "India believes in growth but is also committed to protecting the environment." India's External Affairs Ministry has termed suspicious Pakistan's decision to declare the 26/11 Mumbai attack mastermind Hafiz Saeed a terrorist. Hafiz Saeed has said he will challenge the Pakistan government's decision cracking down on its two charities. The kingpin of India's biggest fraud scam, Nirav Modi, has been traced to New York's JW Marriott Essex House, even as India's Central Bureau of Investigation has approached Interpol to help locate Modi and his family. WION's Nick Harper has sent us this report from outside the hotel. One of the absconders in the Punjab National Bank fraud, Mehul Choksky, was under the scanner of the Mumbai Income Tax Department in 2012 for alleged duty violations while importing huge quantities of gold and diamond items. Now, according to replies received under RTI in 2012, huge quantities of gold were imported by major Indian companies and many had not paid duty that year. The Delhi High Court directed students of the Jawaharlal Nehru University not to obstruct the Vice Chancellor and other staff from entering the administrative block to carry out their work. The High Court passed the interim order on JNU's plea, which said that the protest near the administration's block was hampering the day-to-day functioning, including the disbursal of salaries in connection with the 7th Pay Commission. Bollywood star Salman Khan's Being Human Foundation, a charity outfit that works for the underprivileged in the education and healthcare sectors, is likely to be blacklisted by the Mumbai civic body for not operating a dialysis centre in Bandra. In his pre-assembly election budget for 2018-19, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah announced schemes for universal health coverage, providing free LPG connections and mitigating miseries of dry land farmers. The Chief Minister also said the implementation of the 6th Pay Commission for 5.93 lakh state government employees and 5.73 lakh pensioners would cost Rs 10,508 crores to the exchequer. American Michaela Schifrin's bid for a record 5 gold medals at Pyeongchang 2018 was foiled today as Sweden's Frida Hansdotter won the women's slalom, while favourite Schifrin finished 4th. Switzerland's Wendy Holdener held the lead after the first of 2 runs, while Hansdotter was 2nd and Schifrin 4th. The 22-year-old American, who became the then youngest Winter Olympic champion by winning this event in Sochi 4 years ago, was heading towards a gold medal position in the 2nd run, but a mistake ended her medal hopes. 32-year-old Hansdotter was also slower on a 2nd run, but she edged Holdener to win the gold in a combined time of 1 minute, 38.63 seconds. Elsewhere, Italian Michela Moioli won a thrilling final to take gold in the women's snowboard cross. All 6 finalists were in contention for much of the race, but Moioli pulled clear late on to win. 2 athletes crashed on the finish line, but French 16-year-old Julia Mobilo won silver and Czech Eva Samkova took home the bronze. Moyoli's gold was Italy's second of the ongoing games in Pyeongchang. Meanwhile, Austria's Matthias Mayer produced a brilliant run to win the men's Super G and claim his second Winter Olympics gold medal in alpine skiing. The downhill champion in Sochi in 2014, Mayer won in a time of 1 minute 24.44 seconds. Switzerland's beat Fues was second, while defending champion Kjetil Jansrud of Norway was relegated to the bronze medal. The Mayer's win breaks Norway's dominance in men's Olympic Super G, which stretches back to 2002. Jennifer Aniston and Justin Trudeau have issued a statement announcing their split after 2.5 years of marriage. This decision was mutual and lovingly made at the end of last year. Look forward to continuing our cherished friendship, read their statement. The estranged couple had started dating in 2011 after meetings on the sets of a film. Amy Schumer has tied the knot with chef Chris Fischer. The two wed in a private ceremony in Malibu. California A-list Hollywood stars such as Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lawrence and Larry David were among the approximate 80 guests. Now, Amy Schumer is famously known for her Hollywood flick Trainwreck. Britney Spears is being honored for vocally supporting the LGBTQ community. GLAAD will present the pop star with its 2018 Vanguard Award on April 12th in Los Angeles. The GLAAD Vanguard Award is given to a media personality who has made a significant difference in promoting equality and acceptance among LGBTQ couples.